Welcome on into the podcast. I'm Brett.
I'm Dorian, and this is You Heard with Nerds. And so this week, what we're going to be talking about is Universal and AMC becoming friends again.
Yep.
The Mega Man movie, the Nintendo leak, Rouge Company. But first things first, we're going to be talking about Batman Death in the Family interactive movie. So
yeah,
kind of
interesting.
Interesting thing that DC Animation is doing here, because they've never, as far as I know, never done anything like this before here.
Yeah, I would say the closest is the Telltale games where it's interactive.
Well, sure.
You make choices.
Well, sure, but I'm talking about like DC animated.
No, yeah. So when I first saw this, I was like, "Is this that we already got this?"
Yeah, kind of
under the Red Hood.
Right, exactly, because it actually uses like the
Death in the Family.
Well, it uses like footage from Under the Red Hood here, like the animated movie here.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, so it kind of threw me for a spin, but then you watch more and then you see like, okay, there's actually now new footage depending on what you choose here and all that. So
and it was really interesting because I mean, have you ever done any of the interactive movies on Netflix?
I haven't done the one specifically on Netflix, but I've done like something similar to it before here. Like I think like back when like there was like the DVD thing, or like, you had the interactive books here or something like that, where, if like, oh, if you want this one guy to do this thing, flip to this page.
Right. Yeah. Goosebumps did that a little bit back in the day too.
Yeah.
So I think this could be cool. I'm interested because I know that obviously Death in the Family run and then the Red Hood run, Under the Red Hood, is one of my favorite.
Yeah.
Especially animated movies that they have.
Story arcs, essentially.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, well, yeah. Under the Red Hood, I would say, is like one of the examples of the animated movie being better than the comic that's actually based on. I don't know if you've ever read the comic.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, but it's kind of all over the place in some areas here, and like it really takes a lot of time to actually get to like, the good stuff, whereas like the Under the Red Hood movie like really condenses a lot of the needless like running around and actually hammers home like the main points that you want to see on that here.
Yeah, I mean, I just found it interesting. So there's obviously different outcomes you can have in this movie. So the rewatchability is through the roof.
Yeah, depending on like how different those things are going to be, because it's like, how many choices are you actually going to make in the movie? If it's just like like 3 or 5 choices, it's like, okay, well, I could probably watch it all and like see everything and do everything in an afternoon and call it good here,
Well, I mean, but how long is the movie usually? An hour and a half.
Right, but I mean, it's like, and also like how drastically different will it be?
It looked pretty drastically different because you got potentially
Hood,
Jason Todd as Red Robin.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like Red Robin.
So like there was basically never a Tim Drake
right.
in one of the options, it looked like.
Well, and then there's like that other one where he's where it looks like he's kind of got like a Hush outfit going on.
Yeah, bandages and stuff.
Yeah. So no, it's I mean, it's definitely some interesting footage. I mean, I'd be curious to kind of get a little bit more details on it here, and like, what it actually is going to entail, because I mean, I get like, this is a way to pay homage to the original Death in the Family run, where like they had people call in and vote on whether or not they wanted Jason Todd to actually live or die. So this is kind of, I feel like, paying homage to that whole idea or notion here. But honestly, I can kind of see this just being like, maybe like I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, like kind of cheap, I guess, or like seeing this like be like underwhelming, I guess, in terms of like potential. But that's just me.
I think it depends on what you're actually looking for. I'm not really sure what you're looking for, but I think it looks dope. Yeah. I think it's going to be a good time.
I don't know. I mean, I just feel like a lot of these like interactive, like, oh, choose your own story type things here, I feel like most of them do not like. Usually they're just like a cheap trick to make people think that they're actually, affecting something in a large way here. I mean, I've seen it in video games, I've seen it in books, I've seen it in movies here. I've just kind of like.
Yeah, I think when there's different endings, that's what does it for me. It's like, will Jason Todd walk down 3 different paths potentially?
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure.
So it comes out October 13th, 2020, and so I guess we'll find out then more about it.
Yeah.
All right, so Lord of the Rings, which I don't care about at all, is getting a show on Amazon.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're kind of optimistic about this show a little bit, or
I don't know.
Okay.
I it's just something like it's better than not having a show. I guess I don't know.
Something's better than nothing, I guess, or
But they just released that they're gonna have 3 of the original characters from the movies, and obviously it makes sense because they're like kind of immortal characters. 2 of them are elves, and then one of them Sauron.
Yep.
So, what do you think about this? Since I don't care.
I mean, I'm not like a huge Lord of the Rings acolyte. I mean, I do like those movies. I mean, no, it makes sense for these characters to be in there because, from what I understand, this show is supposed to be revolving around Aragorn and Legolas and all the, and just kind of like their whole adventures and like what they were doing. Basically, him being Strider, just all the events that happened kind of before the movies involving him for the most part. That being said, it's like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like we just hear like a lot about this show without actually seeing like anything like substantial,
right?
Like no production shots, no teasers, no like actual trailers, because this thing has been like in the works for a couple of years now here. It's
I don't know how far they are in production. I have no idea.
And I mean, honestly, I'm kind of just tired of hearing about it. Like, it's like, okay, when you actually have something like, tell me, show me, like, but until then, like, just get back to work, come up with something, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. Totally. I mean, I think for some people this is exciting news, but for me, I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, no, I could definitely see this being.
It's not played by the same actors, obviously.
No, it's not going to be played by
Hugo Weaving.
Yeah, Hugo Weaving and Kate Blanchett.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, I mean, it makes sense for these characters to be cast just because obviously Sauron is a big player in Middle Earth, and then Elrond and Gladriel are both pretty big in their own respect as well. Here, they've had like a big history on making like big choices and decisions, or like being at big events that help shape Middle Earth. So no, it totally makes sense. But like I said, I need this to actually start taking form as opposed to just being talked about.
Mm-hmm. I get that. Let's talk about something else that doesn't have a lot of information and needs to take form.
Yeah, no kidding here.
Tenet's got a new release date.
Yeah.
AKA 1010. So release date it was initially August 26th. Was that the first one?
Oh, in terms of like its original release date?
Yeah, wasn't it July?
No, it was like July 17th, I want to say.
So it's gotten pushed back, I think, 2 or 3 times at this point, right?
Right, because
it was indefinite, and now it's got a September 3rd.
Well, because I think it was supposed to be coming out like early, like towards the end of July, early August.
Yeah.
Like that was the first delay. And then as we started approaching that and, coronavirus cases started going up, basically they said, okay, we're going to delay this indefinitely. That lasted for roughly about a week.
Yep.
And now it has a new release date for internationally, August 26th.
Yeah, and then for whatever reason, we get it like 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
I don't get that move, but whatever.
I think it's just kind of more of a matter of like, there are places that are doing better than the States in terms of handling the virus, or like cases are going down for the most part. But we're also starting to see indications that there might be a second wave hitting like, those countries as well. So that will probably.
And then there's people that saying there's not going to be a second wave. It's just going to die off.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, news on coronavirus and like how things are going about it, or what the future is going to be look like, very up in the air. So
bottom line is we just got to get back to life.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
But is what like company is a Tenet from? It's
from Warner Brothers.
Okay.
Here. And so I know what you're thinking, like just put it out on VOD or something like that. Yeah, that I don't think they're going to go for. Just
do the release to the theaters that are open, and then put it on VOD in
the Bill and Ted
17 days or whatever.
or the Bill and Ted treatment, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, well, and that's the thing is like, I think if Christopher Nolan wasn't involved in making this movie, they would have, in all honesty, because Christopher Nolan is basically pretty adamant of saying like, no, this thing needs to come to theaters first, just because that's what this movie was filmed and designed to be, essentially a theater released movie. And so if unless they want to piss off Christopher Nolan and potentially have him not work with their studio anymore, I think they're gonna have to just say, okay, well, we're just gonna have to play ball for a little bit until we can actually get this thing out in theaters. So
right.
But I mean, honestly, I think this thing's just gonna get delayed again. In all honesty,
probably,
in all likelihood. I mean, we've already heck, I would even imagine like all the stuff that's supposed to be coming out in November and like all those other movies and whatnot. I'm pretty sure that's probably gonna get delayed at this rate here. I mean,
I don't see why.
I mean, I think it's just they're gonna look at it and say, yeah,
let's lose more money.
Well, better safe than sorry here, because I mean,
yeah, but better income than no income.
Maybe. So I don't know.
Do you think people are going to go back to the movie theaters once this is all cleared up?
Not immediately.
No. So we're talking years out. So just start.
Yeah.
Just start, because you're going to have to delay a couple years.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be years.
It will.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more like months here. In all honesty, like
people who are the fear mongers right now, who are afraid, are not going to go back.
Sure. No, I mean the fear mongers most certainly, they're going to basically go down to their bunkers and all that stuff here. But I'm just talking about like if there's like a general feeling where like things are starting to return to normal, things are starting to open up here.
It's not going to happen. Yeah. Not till at least after November.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, after the election.
Well, after the election, after November, probably 2021 is probably like when things I think will actually like kind of simmer down or something. But we'll see.
We shall see. Mm-hmm. With that being said, Universal and AMC actually come to a deal. Universal made a statement a couple months ago now to where they were like, yeah, so we're actually not going to have our movies at your theaters anymore. So kick rocks.
Yeah, no. Essentially, what ended up happening was Universal released Trolls World Tour. They made a lot of money off of that just because they get like 80% of like the income from
versus like
video.
half or less than half.
Yeah, something like that. So basically, they were saying that okay, this is probably going to be a ongoing strategy for all of our movies going forward, and then AMC's like, well, okay, screw you. We're going to not show your movies in our theaters anymore, which I'm like, okay, well, I think that was kind of what they were going for here. So you're kind of
you're only helping them out.
You're kind of helping them out and like doing that. So, but I guess since then, they've reflected on their feelings. They realized that sorry guys, like I didn't mean what I said here,
Yeah.
So they've came to an agreement of sorts, whereas like basically there'll be a theatrical release of a Universal movie. So in this case, it'll be like Fast 9, I think, or something like that. Yeah. So Fast 9 will, come out in theaters first. And then 17 days later, Universal is basically can put that on video demand or whatever they want, because typically how it works is like studios give theaters like a 90-day run in the theater before they put it out on like, other media essentially. So it's going to break the format. And honestly, in this Corona era and like, all the things going on, I could definitely see this kind of becoming more of a norm here in all honesty, and seeing how, studios are going to want to, actually make more money off of this thing than like not. I could see this actually becoming, more of an adopted strategy in the future.
I'm not even going to chalk it up to Corona. I think it's just the modern age we live in.
Yeah. I mean, I think, obviously there's been talk about like how movie theaters have been on the decline in terms of like sales and whatnot. And, usually you need something big like an Avengers movie or a Star Wars movie, something to like actually draw the crowd in, and like actually make, crazy amounts of money. But I think like the coronavirus definitely fast forward or fast tracked, like, something that would have happened like maybe inevitably in the.
Well, it gave him a reason to like, oh, we're staying home. We're not,
Yeah.
Which me personally, I don't know anyone who's just staying home.
Like just locking down completely? Yeah, no. I mean, you can't. I mean, unless like you're going to be living off of like Amazon and HelloFresh here or something like that.
Some people probably could.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you got me on that one.
So we're going to be talking about something. So this last, we didn't get Comic-Con, right?
No,
we did, but it was online.
We got the poor man's version of Comic-Con.
It was not entertaining at all, in my opinion.
Nah, there was no banger announcements.
No announcements. But anyway, so San Diego Comic-Con did like a Zoom meeting with a lot of people. Mm-hmm. One of them being the I think they're the directors or writers of
the writers,
Project Power.
I think yeah. They're involved in Project Power in some way, shape, or form, but
they're also going to be helming. They brought this up. The live-action Mega Man movie coming soon.
Yeah, they're going to be they're tapping to write that here, and apparently there's going to be a big announcement. At least what they said.
Soon,
yeah, or like big news is what I think the official verbiage they used.
I just don't see this being a good movie. Like I can't get past the look of Mega Man, the world of Mega Man, and not have it be heavy CGI, in an alternate universe, futuristic,
right. And for those of you who don't know, we're talking Mega Man is basically a video game that's been around since the 80s here and all that. You play as a blue robot that fights bad robots. You kill them, you get their abilities, and then you go rinse and repeat basically here. So that being said, it's like, Mega Man is like one of the most video games out there here.
Yeah.
It's not like, somebody says, hey, I want to make a Halo movie. I'll be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. There's like a lot of...
That makes total sense.
There's a lot of stuff that you can actually draw from Halo from, because, like a lot of the visual aspects, a lot of this thing, a lot of that thing, or like somebody wants... says like, oh, I want to make a BioShock movie. Like, it makes total sense.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I kind of feel like this might be, because this movie I think was initially announced in 2018, and it was with 20th Century Fox, which obviously I'm sure the merger with Disney and Fox probably
took part of that on.
Put a slowdown on this movie, but I mean now they might be trying to fire the engine back up and like get this thing rolling again. And so I think the big news that they're talking about is they probably have like most of the cast, at least like the main people. So that your Dr. Wily, your Dr. Light, Mega Man, and maybe Roll probably will be in there, I would imagine.
Proto show up.
I could see him saving Proto for the sequel or something like that. I mean, kind of like a Tales.
Or show up at the beginning, like as a teaser, and then not show up again.
Reverse
teaser. Like, hey,
teaser.
How's it going? I'm not gonna see you for a while.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. No, it'd be like that one Flash cameo in like Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
Like, just shows up and time travels like out of nowhere. So it's like, hey, I'm gonna tell you a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah.
It's not gonna pan out at all.
Nope.
See ya
later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's it's just I just feel like, the people who are like working on this movie or something like that, I think what's honestly happening is they're looking at the Sonic movie. They're seeing that, okay, that actually managed to work out.
Yeah.
Like granted, like that movie was kind of rough coming out of the gates when it first got unveiled, but they managed to actually turn that around and actually make that work and made it like,
sure,
like a watchable movie
right
here.
Yeah.
And so I think they're just kind of becoming a little bit more emboldened by that, whereas like, it's like, okay, I mean, I feel like if you're really going to do a Mega Man movie right, you're going to have to like really you really have to like lean into the idea of like, okay, this isn't taking place like in contemporary times. This is taking place in the year 20XX here, like in the distant future, blah, blah, blah. and robots are a main part of society. And so I felt like with the Sonic movie, because you were kind of introducing like, oh, this is a character from a different world, he's coming to our world and all that, you can kind of
see now that would be an interesting concept.
What, like
Mega Man somehow comes into
time travels back to our time?
Yeah.
I mean, I get the idea from like a movie making standpoint, just because I felt like that would make a more entertaining movie. But at the same time, I felt like, okay, this is also like not like per se Mega Man here, or like.
Right. I'm just trying to think of a way that they're actually going to be able to do the movie.
Because
Sonic obviously didn't follow the Sonic games.
Well, I mean, but to a certain point it did, because there are like Sonic games where like he's
there's shows and stuff where he's in the normal world.
Well, or even games too here, like there's games where he's like, grinding off like the San Francisco Bridge and the Golden Gate Bridge, and then like, running snowboarding down like the slopes of San Francisco here,
Totally.
But
be interesting to see how it pans out. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I mean, right now I don't have any reason to be optimistic about this movie. I mean, which is a shame, because I mean, I think Mega Man is honestly a great game franchise, but I mean, I don't know if like a live action movie is the best way to adapt this property.
Speaking of weird series to come to a different format, I guess, because this. So it's like the opposite for this next subject. So Netflix is getting a Splinter Cell animated series, which to me, I'm like, okay, if anything, Mega Man should be an animated series and Splinter Cell should be a live action series.
Correct. Yes. I mean, no, and Splinter Cell, I mean, here's the thing. I've never really played any of the games.
I played like one of them on PS2 probably. I don't remember.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they're just trying to keep down costs or something like that, but I mean, Splinter Cell seems like, it's kind of one of the things that you look at and say, okay, yeah, this actually would work as a live action video game adaptation here.
I mean, essentially it is. There's nothing fantasy about it. You're a stealth agent.
Yeah, it's essentially,
you take people down.
It's Jason Bourne with stealth here, essentially, is what it is.
It's just very odd to me that this is animated. I do like it's coming from the creator of John Wick.
Yeah, like is it the creator or just one of the guys that?
I think it's the creator is going to helm the series. I don't know. I can't remember what they said. They just said John Wick people, basically.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. All right, sweet. I mean, yeah, I like that idea. I mean, it's just like,
isn't he doing My Friend Pedro?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's doing My Friend Pedro. I would assume he's doing John Wick 4 here, So, but no, I just think it's a missed opportunity not to do this live action, because I mean, here's the thing. I mean, if you give me like an animated, like, cool, like, gunfight, stealth action and stuff like that, I'm like, all right, I'm not going to like scoff at it per se here, but I am going to be a little, in the back of my mind, I'm going to be maybe a little like, oh, that could have been live action here. We could have actually gotten like a dope John-esque style live action Splinter Cell show.
Yeah.
But I digress.
Yeah. When I first read it, I thought it was going to be live action. Like, it made sense to me in my head. Oh, this is going to be live action.
Yeah, I mean, that's the first thing you envision. You don't envision an animated series on, Sam Fisher and him just being, sneaky and, going to nuclear plants and snapping people's necks and all that other business here. But, yeah, no, it's a weird choice. I mean, we'll see how it pans out. But, I mean, I just think it's, like, odd that they would just go this route for Splinter Cell.
Yeah. So we've been talking about just how video games have been translating into like the big screen or small screen. Let's just talk about video games, period. So Nintendo had a big leak this last week. They call it the Giga Leak.
Yeah, basically for those of you who don't know what happened, there's like a company that Nintendo essentially hired to like hold on to like some of their assets and stuff like that that they've had for like years, like, and just some details or like behind the scenes stuff that people just did not know about, like classic Nintendo games. So long story short, some hackers hacked that company's server, and they found out that oh, these guys are holding assets for Nintendo here, like stuff that has never been seen before. Like one of them being a character model for Luigi in Super Mario 64, which is like something that people have been theorizing and like trying to digging in that game's code to try to find here for like years here. So original design for like Yoshi in Super Mario World, he actually had like more of like a beak, kind of like almost like a Velociraptor raptor kind of. There was like supposed to be an expansion for Ocarina of Time on the 64 when they were going to have the 64 disc drive eventually come out. Never did. And an early version of Yoshi's Island with that, which didn't even feature Yoshi at one point. It was just going to be some just different character or something like that. So I mean, those were the main ones that stuck out to me here. I mean, there's definitely some other ones here for sure, but I mean, it's an interesting find. I mean, I don't really think this does a lot for me in 2020. I mean, if I saw the leak about like, okay, this is why Metroid Prime 4 got delayed here. Like they were with this company, they were trying to do this. This is why it didn't pan out. I'd be like, oh, okay, I'd be reading up on that like ASAP. Here,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like, at this point, it's kind of like, okay, well, I mean, I guess it's cool we have it. I just don't really care right now.
Yeah, I thought it was cool to get that info because that was something as a kid, you're always like, when do I unlock Luigi? Because you were so used to having 2-player for Super Mario World and stuff.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, like,
so you're like, so when's the multiplayer coming?
Every Mario, like, mainline Mario game, like Mario 1, Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, 3, World, you could always play as Luigi. So, yeah, I mean, I guess looking back with that lens, I guess, yeah, this is kind of a big deal here,
Yeah, I guess it's cool for the people like us who grew up in that time, and that was something we always wanted, but we just never got.
Yeah.
And to find out he was actually in the code is almost
or they were
really?
Or they were planning on actually like having him a part of it. Here
right,
at one
yeah.
point.
I'm like, why wasn't he? That would be an easy thing to do.
Well, I think it's probably just a matter of like they were probably maybe experimenting with the idea of like having, Luigi as a playable character or something like that. But obviously that game doesn't have any multiplayer.
No.
So I think they said, okay, well, the multiplayer factor on this game is not working out. So we're just going to nip this in the bud, call it good, pack it up, go home, and just make a solid, single player game.
Yeah. That's fine. And then did you hear about I don't know if this was part of the hack, but the people who basically made that expansion, like the tie over between Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. There's like I don't know if it's a company, but basically they made their own small game that ties them together.
Yeah, I heard something about that. Yeah, like
I'm wondering if they had some information from this leak or something. And
I don't know about that. I felt like that was just probably a fan game that they probably made or something like that because people have been doing that for years.
True.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about some more current games. Hyperscape's coming to console August 11th, which we've been talking about this game. I've seen gameplay. It's very fast moving, kind of battle royale. It looks different. I'm excited. I know it was kind of big for a little bit and it died out a little because literally, like right now, we've gotten so many games that are like the battle royale, like competitive shooter type games.
It's definitely an oversaturated market. I feel
like especially like in the last couple months.
Yeah,
like it's just like boom, boom, boom. Like they've just been popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
So this is one I'm gonna play, especially if it's FTP. So free to play.
No, I'm pretty sure it is here.
I mean, I'll even pay $10 to get the early access or whatever it is, and try it out at least, and see if this is a, I'm not sure if Switch was on the.
I don't think it is.
I think it's PlayStation 4, Xbox, PC.
I think it's PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and I think it is cross-platform for those ones right now. I think my theory is if this game actually becomes big enough. I don't know, give it like maybe about a year or so, we will see a
Switch version.
Just because that's kind of how the whole Battle Royale shtick has been kind of going for Switch is like, about like maybe a year after like, Fortnite took off and did that, it came to Switch. Kind of the same thing with Apex Legends and, Call of Duty Warzone. I mean, provided that they don't just straight up abandon it for the next Call of Duty or something like that.
I'm guessing they will. It's got, yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, but and then also, and if this actually makes a decent splash or something like that, yeah, I could see them. I could see them actually, putting this out on Switch and doing the whole cross-platform thing. Just because, I mean, that's kind of like the big thing to do right now here. I mean, but
yeah.
Yeah, no, I am interested to see how this game plays and looks and feels and all that. I mean, I just think it's I think it's bringing some unique ideas to the table, and so I've never really gotten like the battle royale that I feel like I've always wanted here, because I felt like I've played Apex, I played Fortnite, I played Warzone and all that. All those games, they're fine and all that, but they haven't I don't think really done it for me to the point where I'm like, okay, I actually really want to get into this game. Kind of like, Overwatch or Smash Bros. What Overwatch or Smash Bros. Is for me, essentially.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
We will see.
Cuphead stealth dropped on PS4, and you're about 5 years too late.
Which is funny because I don't think Cuphead's even been out for like 3 years.
No, it's been out for at least 3 years. Maybe longer.
I think in September. I think it dropped in like September of like 2017. So
there's no way it was way before that.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so.
I'm sure.
No.
Yeah,
look it up. I want to see. I want to see a date.
Okay.
It's been out for.
All right. We're gonna get some fact checked live on the podcast here.
Yeah.
All right. Here. All right.
I'm pretty sure it's been at least 4 years.
All right. So initial release date.
Where does it say it?
Right here. So hang on.
September 2017.
Yep.
Yeah, feels like it's been 5 years.
I know. Well, I mean, we've heard about this game for a while here, and so I think it got.
Oh, I guess I wasn't living with my parents. I just didn't have an Xbox, so I went over to my parents to play it.
Yeah,
that's what's jumped up in my mind, because I'm like, I wasn't living at home when this game came out.
Yeah,
but I remember only playing it at my parents' house.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
that makes sense.
That's why. But yeah, I mean, but anyhow, so getting back into it. So no, it's I'll bet you anything this was supposed to be like an E3 like surprise drop or something.
And everyone goes, "Who cares?"
Well, I mean, yeah, it's like, I mean, I get putting Cuphead on Switch because Microsoft and Nintendo
take it with you, and
right, but Microsoft and Nintendo, they're indirect competitors here. They're not trying to go for necessarily the same audience.
Oh yeah, because this was a Xbox exclusive.
This was an Xbox exclusive, because essentially this was an indie game that was going to be this was just going to be a self-published indie game. Microsoft caught wind of it and says, "Hey, we actually want to, help produce this and actually help you get fast-tracked on like making this game right here, right now here." So they did that, and it was just going to be exclusive for Xbox, and then it came to Switch, and I'm like, okay, well, it makes sense. Nintendo and Microsoft have been playing nice with each other. Say, yeah, here's Banjo, here's Ori, here's Cuphead, and all this other stuff here. And now it's like, now they're like, okay, yeah, now we're going to put like one of our exclusives, in quotes.
Yeah.
Now on PlayStation, our actual direct competitor here, and I'm like, I don't know if it's just a matter of like, Microsoft felt like, okay, we've made as much money as we could probably make on our own platform, so let's put it on Switch. And they did that about a year ago.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, we've made pretty much all the money we can make on that platform, so I guess now we'll put it on PlayStation.
I'm guessing
4.
there's some kind of agreement that was going to be exclusive for a certain amount of years. Like probably a 3-year window.
Yeah.
And then maybe for Cuphead 2, it's the same thing. PlayStation, you have to wait 3 years.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because Cuphead 2 is coming.
Eventually, I feel
like they already said it was coming. I think they said, Cuphead 2 is on its way. And
yeah, but I mean, like, it's probably going to be a while.
I guess they had DLC not too long ago.
Well, it's still the DLC still hasn't come out here.
Oh, it hasn't.
No, so I mean,
so maybe
so they
is...
still got to finish that. They also got that Netflix animated series that's happening. Yeah, no, that's real.
That actually might be fun to watch.
Maybe
with that animation style.
I mean, well, I think the animation style is going to be different than from what it is here. I know.
Don't do it then.
Yeah, but anyhow, so they got that, and plus, I mean, you got to figure like the guys who are actually making the game, like unless they actually get like beef up their development staff, it's just two brothers that used to lay concrete, you know. So,
hey, maybe they're working with Microsoft now on getting it going.
Yeah, I am not entirely sure, but anyhow, I mean, so that being said, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't think Microsoft has like really any like idea or concept of exclusivity for like this generation. I mean,
yeah,
but I think, if you're into like kind of like a hard Contra game that has like a 1930s cartoon animation style, this is your game. It's super hard, but
it'll make you want to not play video games.
I'm not even exaggerating. No joke. I think I died 600 times in that game.
Yeah.
Like legitimately. Like I think that's the actual counter.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So.
All right, let's head into our roundtable review.
Yeah. So we are going to be talking about Rogue Company. So you and I have been playing a little bit of it and all that. So what are you thinking so far here? What's your first impressions?
Yeah, first impressions for this game. I've been enjoying it. I think it's been pretty fun.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, it's a tactical third-person hero shooter, essentially.
And it has it plays a lot like Valorant, at least like the main game mode. You have like an area where you have to like you're either attacking or defending. You have to plant a bomb on like these one of these areas here, and basically you have to either like stop the bomb from detonating, or you have to protect the bomb so it can detonate.
Right. Or take out the other team.
Right.
That's the only other objective.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's the tactical part, I guess. So each rogue has kind of their it's kind of interesting. So in Valorant, you have this after each round there's an economy to it. So you get money based on how many kills you get.
Yeah,
how long you survive, stuff like that.
Basically your performance in like the previous round.
So they have different guns you could pick from and all that, different perks you can pick up. Your abilities you can buy those.
Yeah.
And then if you die in Valorant, then you just lose all of it. In this game, you don't. You get to kind of stack it and keep going. And
yeah. It's kind of like a MOBA in that regard here, where like, you're constantly like, even if you don't like win this, like, this fight or this thing or whatever here, you're still actually pushing towards like progression, like, and bettering your character for the next round here.
Right. Yeah. And in this game, it's a little bit more forgiving than Valorant or CS:GO or games like that.
I would definitely say so.
If you don't die completely, you'll heal back up to where you were.
You can be
full health.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you have like a regenerative health. You also can be revived by teammates as well here.
And so I think it's interesting. So each rogue has their own perks, their own loadouts. So for every hero there is, or rogue, there's different guns. You could pick one of two guns, basically.
Yeah.
For your primary weapon. You start with a pistol like every other, and everyone has their own different pistols.
Yeah, everybody has a different pistol. Like the one guy I like to play as Dallas. Yeah, he has like a revolver 6-shooter that's actually pretty strong here. Yeah. But, it's a 6-shooter. You only have like 6 shots until you have to reload. And then you'll have like some people who have like, kind of like a micro mini
machine gun.
Machine gun, yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty fun. There's 2 game modes as of now, Demolition and Strikeout. Demolition is the plant the bomb.
Yeah, the Valorant style.
Yeah, Strikeout is your team has 12 lives. You have 4 people on your team. The first person to lose all their lives and dies, essentially is the other team's the winner. So the first team to kill the other team 12 times, I guess. And there's 3 rounds of that.
Right, 3 rounds, and I mean, yeah. Yep. And then also,
and that was pretty fun. That was a good time. And you're trying to kind of secure an area, like capture the flag almost.
Yeah, capture the point or whatever. Yeah, but yeah, it's I actually think I did like that game mode a little bit better than the Demolition game mode. But that's just me.
Yeah, and there's a third mode on the way. I think it's called Extraction. I don't think it's out yet.
I think that's probably. I don't know, like grab this thing, hold on to it for like a certain period.
Like King of the Hill, in a way. Yeah, grab this item and then it'll build up points.
Yeah,
and then whoever holds it the longest wins, type of thing.
I mean, at least that's the impression I get when I hear the word extraction or something like that. But
yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing: is like this game, I would say, is basically like a less polished third-person version of Valorant. Here, you know, there's a. I mean, the graphics aren't like super amazing. You're also like they're trying to do like the thing that Overwatch and Valorant does, where they have like, you know, characters with like, you know, really distinct lovable personalities. They didn't manage to do that with this game at all. But and you know, also there's like even like just things that you look at, you're like, okay, yeah, this is still kind of got some rough edges to it. Like, you know, I mean, you got dropped from a game. Our
Seabrecht got dropped twice.
Our buddy Seabrecht that we were playing with got dropped.
And this is a beta, to be clear. This is not the fully released game, so I'm hoping they work on all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't see it being a really pretty game because it is cross-platform.
Yeah, I don't really either, and I don't need it to be,
well,
be
yes,
honest.
For a tactical game, you typically turn off like all the extra odds and ends graphics-wise.
Sure. But like, and there's like even like I don't know if this was like on your screen or not, but like whenever like it would like load into a game, you know, have like the tips. Well, the tips like saying like, you know, on the loading screen saying like, hey, you know, when this happens, do this. But then like it'll like have like a big like in white print loading on top of the freaking.
Oh yeah, mine didn't do that.
Yeah, on the tips, and I'm just like, okay, wow, that's kind of like a little bit of an eyesore, especially for like even a beta game. Typically, like that, you don't see that thing kind of happening.
Well, I know that there was like so when you're choosing your character before you lock in, there's like this flashing light in the background.
Yeah,
is that on yours too?
I don't.
And then it'll go to like your character's graphic.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. I remember there was
that was on mine. I was like, man, if you have epilepsy, this is not going to be the game for you.
Well, I remember there was like one round where I was trying to choose my character.
Oh yeah,
like,
and you couldn't.
Well, like it wouldn't show me like the menu that I.
Yeah,
so
that happened to me once.
So I had to pick it like almost blindly here. So I was just like, so there's definitely some issues, and like, but despite that being said, I'm probably gonna get hate for from Valorant fans, but I think I actually like this game better than Valorant. I mean,
it's definitely different because this is a console shooter.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's PC. You can be way more precise. You can dial in the controller a lot better. That's something I was working on. Was okay. How much sensitivity do I actually need in this game? Mm-hmm. Because I felt like I was moving really slow.
Yeah,
like if you had to flick back behind you, you can't. You have to hold it and wait. Like, come on.
Well, I mean, basically, if you're getting attacked from behind, your first instinct,
you got to roll.
You got to roll, and you got to get cover here, and then you turn it around and then figure things out. But I mean, you know, that could just be just the fact that I'm not a PC guy, I'm a console guy. So I mean, you know, that just, I mean, if Valorant came to console, I mean, I could revisit this topic, but I think just the fact that I just like the fact that it's third person and it's also, I think it's more forgiving than Valorant is and all that. I think that's what appeals to me more so. So
something. So when it does go free to play, because right now you could do like the Founders Pack for $15 or whatever. I only paid $10 because I had credits for Nintendo I had to use.
Right. Yeah, I paid about $15 just to get the like very basic. So
you get like 2 extra characters unlocked at the beginning, which you wouldn't have originally. I'm hoping when this moves to free to play that you can link your account across the different platforms, because I think I'd enjoy it more on PlayStation because for whatever reason, like the controller wasn't as smooth as I'd like it to be, and so I think that problem wouldn't be there on PlayStation 4.
Well, and that's the thing, like that's my issue with the Switch is I feel like, you know, it does fine when it comes to like, you know, shooting mechanics and whatnot here, but I think if you're wanting like that nice smooth frame rate and just that feel, that it's hard to describe here to be honest. I'm not entirely sure of the exact technical wordage for it, but I think PlayStation definitely has that beat when it comes to Switch. So basically, like anytime I have to purchase like a shooter like game or like play a shooter like game that has heavy shooting mechanics,
right,
I'm opting for PlayStation.
Yeah. Well, that's it for this week. Thank you guys. We greatly appreciate you listening and watching. Make sure you check us out on YouTube, like, subscribe, all those things. Share it with a friend.
All the things.
All the things. Check us out on social media. Have an awesome week. And remember, everyone's a nerd about something.
Dodge the corona.